Hello and welcome to my review of the Death Guard Scribbus Wretch, the Tallyman. This model will cost you £15. It's a highly detailed monopose plastic miniature from Games Workshop. It was very straightforward to build. I think I said in the unboxing it had about 8 parts or so. We'll just have a look at the detail. So I couldn't for the life of me remember what this thing was here, but it's in a abacus. And then he's got this notepad with like a bone pen type thing, and then a skull. One could assume that that's where the ink is or the blood, and then he just writes on this this tome. Odd that he's using sort of pen and paper, as it were, in the 41st millennium, but oh well. He's got all of these electronics and things, and he's got this like Vox caster on his power pack. He's got a skull with some bones, and he's got this little nurgling familiar type creature holding his scrolls, and then he's got another book there. He's got this plasma pistol, which I realise I haven't drilled the hole out, so I'm going to go away and do that straight away after this video. Yeah, really nice looking decent model. £15, not too bad. He is a separate elite choice, and he's definitely going to test your painting. There's a lot of detail there that you can paint in, especially with the ink and water effects maybe. But apart from that, he's par for the course with the old Death Guard green and stuff, and the brass. And then it gives you a chance to really paint that little nurgling the way you want. So what I'll do now is I'll just do a few size comparisons. Next to the Plague Surgeon, he's a bit small, but then again the Plague Surgeon is quite a tall model, very tall in fact. I thought that the Plague Surgeon would be about the same sort of size, but he's not. He sort of towers above him compared to a Primaris. Even the Primaris is a bit taller than him, so hope that helps. And then finally, next to a normal sort of Death Guard, he's going to blend right in with the Death Guard. He's probably the same height or so. Obviously this part here on the power pack makes him stand out, but this is my finished Death Guard, by the way. I've just got to do the base, and when I get my Sycorax bronze, just touch up the bronze a bit. But I'm quite happy with that. That's come out quite well. I was very sort of apprehensive, but I think I've done an all right job. Maybe I could do some highlighting on the green, maybe. But yeah, I'm going to do a painting tutorial at some point. But I just thought I'd show you him at the moment. Okay, back to Tallyman, and then compared to sort of Typhus, which is a work in progress, by the way. Yeah, he sort of really is. He's quite small compared to Typhus, but all of the Death Guard range kind of are. Okay, so now this is the part of the video where I will just go through the rules. So as mentioned before, you'll find him in the Elites section. He's power level of 4, which is the same as the Plague Surgeon, the Biologist, the Foul Blightspawn, and the Noxious Blightbringer. They're all power level 4, and they all have exactly the same stats. Which means that their movement is 5 inches, their weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, their strength is 4, toughness 5, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a save of 3+. That's a pretty good stat line. The movement isn't too bad, their weapon skill is quite good, strength is just average, but their toughness is 5, which sets them apart. They've also got these 4 wounds. Power level 4 isn't too bad either. He's equipped with a plasma pistol, blight grenades, and crack grenades. So that's quite decent. I mean, the Noxious Blightbringer, he's got a plasma pistol, the Biologist's got an injector, and the Plague Surgeon has just got a bolt pistol. So for the same power level, you're getting a plasma pistol, toughness 5, 4 wound model with a save of 3+, and the Death to the False Emperor and Disgustingly Resilient special rules. So Disgustingly Resilient, he's got a chance of ignoring those wounds on a 5+. His other abilities, he's got Festering Zealot. You can re-roll failed hit rolls in the fight phase for friendly Death Guard units that are within 7 inches of the model. So that's pretty decent. Although he's not amazing in combat, because it doesn't actually say that he's got like a plague weapon as such. I mean, he's got his plague grenade and he's got his plasma pistol, but because he doesn't have like a bale sword or a plague knife or anything like that, he's just going to be, I think you can use your pistol in close combat. So that's going to be great for him to just bump up any sort of close combat units near you. Maybe the Death Shroud Terminators, he'd sort of buff those guys up. Then he has the Sevenfold Chant. If your army is battle forged and you have any Tallymen on the battlefield, roll 2d6 each time you spend command points to use a Death Guard stratagem. If the result is a 7, Nurgle bestows his blessing upon your army. The command points spent to use that stratagem are immediately refunded. Now that's cool, but the chances of you getting a 7 are quite slim. You know, you have to get that 7 with the 2d6. So that's alright if and when it happens, but in a game I can't see that happening too much. Oh, I must also say that he's got the Blight Grenades, which are a plague weapon, so he does have that. But other than that, that's his rules in a nutshell, really. I will say his base points is 60 points. Doesn't include any war gear, so you're going to have to give him the Plasma Pistol, Blight Grenades and Crack Grenades. And the Plasma Pistol is 7 points, so overall it looks like he's 67 points because the grenades are 0 points. So 67 points, not too bad, really, for him. I mean, the real reason you're going to get him is just for that Festering Zealot, really, allowing you to reroll failed hit rolls in the fight phase. But other than that, he's not particularly amazing in close combat himself, and he doesn't particularly have a very amazing, nicer weapon, long-range weapon either. So he's just purely 67 points for that buff in the fight phase. And that's everything I wanted to say about the Tallyman. I think he's a nice, interesting model, very thematic, you know, jotting down all of the 7s and the 3s and things like that for the army. He's a great little collector's piece too. What do you guys think? Please put it in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.